So there are two ways that people make buying decisions primarily, right? Those two ways are, here's why making sales online is so much easier than what you think it is. But this is the part that they're keeping from you. Most people are not telling you that you need to understand buyers' psychology. And that is the reason why you aren't able to make the sales that you want to make. Your product might be great. You might have purchased a done for you digital product or a master resale rights product, or you might have spent your hard earned time and sometimes even money to create your own digital products. But you have not been able to sell the digital products. And that's because you don't understand what goes into actually creating a product or having a product that somebody wants, and how to get them to understand that they actually want that product. So in this video, we are going to talk about exactly that, how to use buyer psychology to get your audience to understand that they actually need what it is that you have. So if you have been here for a while, then you know that I created my first digital product in 2019. And honestly, there were multiple reasons why I didn't make any money from selling my digital products. And one of the reasons why was because I had imposter syndrome, and I just did not want to show my face and promote that I actually had a product to sell. I didn't want to show that I had a product to sell because I felt like I was going to be a salesperson. I was going to try to have to convince somebody to buy my products. And I didn't want to do that, right? You guys hear me say all the time, I am not in the business of convincing anyone to do anything. At the time, I didn't realize that when you have a product that somebody actually wants and that somebody needs, then they already are positioned to buy. They're already ready to buy. It's just a matter of understanding how they make buyers decisions, how they make the decisions to buy the things that they want to buy. Who are they? How do they think? What keeps them up at night? And of course, understanding your avatar and all of the things goes into that, but really understanding how they make purchasing decisions is what is going to get your product to move. I did not have any of that information when I created my first digital products. And to be honest with you, I thought that as long as I had the product, that it was going to sell. It was going to move itself because it was such a great product. The lies, okay? The lies, because that is the furthest from the truth. So from 2019 to 2024, yes, like all of that time, I had to take a step back and I had to figure out what it was that I was doing wrong. How was so many other people making money online and I wasn't able to literally sell water to a fish? Like I wasn't able to make a dime from my digital product, and it was so good. So that's exactly what I did. I took the time to figure out what I was doing wrong, and this is what I came up with. So I would 1000% recommend you just starting with the problem that you want to solve right now, right? So for me, it was, I knew how to create digital products, and I was like, okay, well, I know how to create digital products. Let me just hop on YouTube and share my experience on how to create digital products and how to get your products published on Amazon KDP and all of the things, right? But it wasn't a true enough problem for me. Like I already knew how to do that, and I don't know, it just, I didn't have like an interest in walking you through step by step on how to create the digital products. I don't think that that was my lane. That may be your lane, that may be somebody else's lane, but for me, I wanted to find the gap. What was nobody else really talking about that I was experiencing in the moment, which was not being able to sell. Like I could not figure out how to sell the product. So I got very studious and I just started digging and researching and getting online and learning about strategy and joining communities and getting in the rooms of the people that were actually doing it, because I was like, I am missing something. There is a component that I'm missing. And that's when I learned about buyer psychology. That's when I learned about copywriting framework. That's when I learned about human behavior and like behavioral science and things like that. And all of how all of those components together creates this marketing machine that makes people naturally want to buy from you, right? I want you to start where you are, right? But in business, I literally just said this to my community members the other day. In business, you have to be ready and willing to pivot, right? So start where you are with what it is that you have, and eventually you're going to feel what it is that you need to be doing. Something is going to happen where you're going to be like, okay, I need to be doing this. And then the universe is going to lead you in that direction. And then you're going to end up finding the gaps on the problem that you need to solve for yourself. You're going to solve it for yourself, and then you're going to be able to come on and share your experience. So, one of the number one things that I can attribute to allowing me to make money, like how you see here on the screen, that got me to my first sale and that has allowed me to continuously make money online is understanding buyer psychology. Now, that is not the only thing, but I 1000% like feel like that is exactly what I needed. Like that was part of the missing puzzle. That was a piece that I was missing in order to make sales, right? And I want you to think about buyer psychology from the perspective of it literally is just mental processes and triggers that make people make the decisions that they make to buy whatever it is that they need, whether it's something that they want or something that they need, right? So think about yourself when you walk into any store. Before you walk into the store, there might have been things that you were thinking about prior to actually making the decision to purchase the things that you purchase. But because it was probably happening throughout your day, within your life, however, you may not even realize that that was a programming that was happening. That was a process that was happening in your subconscious that led you to buying that thing. So, for example, I have been on a kick of collecting perfumes recently, and I was online the other day and I saw a perfume from one of the reality shows that I watch, and she was just talking about how great it was. And I was like, okay, well, I liked her style and everything. So I was like, okay, so this should be good. Let me go. I had never smelled the perfume for myself. Let me just go and check it out. So I checked it out, looked at the reviews, and the reviews said that the perfume was great and they had raving reviews. All of the things that I saw online led me to actually making my purchasing decision. That is buyer psychology. It's the reason why big brands like to keep things in your face with commercials, with on the radio, however they have to make sure that you remember them, they're going to do that. Because if you already want it, you're going to go out and get it. So understanding how your target person makes buying decisions will give you the insight on what you need to be able to create your content and all of your marketing material to speak directly to that person, right? You don't want to just be talking to everybody, right? In my accountability call yesterday with my mentees, we were talking about target audiences, right? And how I have just become allergic to the term audience, because when you are just starting out and really just beginning in the marketing space and wanting to make money online, when you think, or wanting to make money in general, when you think about audience, you think about a bunch of people. That can be overwhelming. So I want you to think about one target person, and that target person is going to eventually multiply. Now, if you get to know your target person, if you get to know them from the inside out, right? How they think, what they like, how many children they got, how much money they make, how often do they travel, like if you get to know them, then you can speak directly to them, right? And I guarantee you, y'all, that one person is going to multiply. In my community, I just recently posted a chat GPT prompt that you can use to literally narrow out and create your avatar and your buyer's persona. So if you are in the community, just check the digital resources library. But you have to be able to get to know how your person, the person that you are talking to, the person that you are helping solve whatever problem that they're solving for themselves, how they think, what their problems are, what their pain points are, and speak directly to that. When you're able to create your marketing material and your videos and your posts and your podcasts and whatever it is, wherever it is that you're showing up for them, you're able to create content that speaks directly to them. So when they hear your content, they feel like, oh my God, this person is speaking directly to me. So there are two ways that people make buying decisions primarily, right? Those two ways are one, rationally, and two, emotionally. So if you know how your target person makes decision, whether it's a rational decision or a emotional purchasing decision, then you're able to talk to them in the way that they need to hear it in order to make the best informed decision for them, right? And I want you to understand it from the perspective of just understanding what it is that your person needs from you, right? So that you're able to tailor it in a way that they can understand it. When you're having a conversation with someone, your delivery matters, right? The way you communicate something to someone matters. If you have multiple children, you may be able to communicate one thing in one way to this child, but when you're talking to this child, you have to communicate it differently because they receive things differently, right? When you have multiple friends that have different personalities, sometimes you are trying to convey the same message in the same way to three different people, and you have two people over here that get it and one person over here that doesn't get it. And that's because the way that that person receives information is different from the way that these people over here, that these friends over here receive information. And so when you understand who it is that you are talking to, you're able to tailor your message in a way that speaks directly to that person, that makes it easier for them to make the buying decision for themselves, to be able to make the best informed decision for themselves. And ultimately, that's what you want. You want your customer, your target person, your client to be able to make the best informed decision for themselves. Even if they don't decide to purchase with you right away, at least they feel like when they walked away from that conversation, when they walked away from engaging with that content, they receive some level of value. And that is you nurturing that relationship. So they're going to remember that in their mind. And so I want you to think about it from the perspective of you're just positioning your content and your information in a way that your target person understands it. Okay, so let's do a quick exercise. I want you in the comments to put a time where you might have made an emotional purchasing decision versus a rational purchasing decision. And I want to do this exercise because I want you to get in the mind frame of how people make buying decisions, right? Whether emotionally or rationally. And I want you to start with yourself. How do you make purchasing decisions? Leave your comments down below, and I can't wait to read what you guys put in there. So what I did over the years, I collected all of the information that I was learning and all of the information that I have recently learned to get me to my first sale and to get me to making consistent sales online, like you see here. And I put it in one place for you. I created a 100 ways to guarantee your first sale ebook. The reason I did that was because I wanted you to be able to have one place that you can go and you can actually take the information that's in there and go and implement it and go and do the work, go and make the sale, go and actually get to this online money that you've been wanting to get to. I want you to start thinking about buyer psychology, and I want you to start thinking about how your target person makes buying decisions. If you don't know who your target person is, then that's something that you need to take the time to actually figure out before you even start creating content. Because if you don't know that ahead of time, like I've said 1,000 times before, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, you are going to be throwing spaghetti at the wall. And I don't want you to be wasting your time, your energy, and your effort in trying to sell a digital product that is not going to move because you don't have a strategy. I want you to make sure that you are strategizing this entire process because that's what's going to get you to your first sale. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you found value in this video. If you did, I would love for you to like the video. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. and leave me a comment and let me know what was your biggest takeaway of the video. I hope to see you in the community, but if not, I'll definitely see you on the next video. Bye, guys.